Because of the incessant rainfall and waterlogged streets, but also railway tracks, the train services, even though they are a lifeline for Mumbai city, the train services have been hit. Look at the waterlogged streets on your screen. There are, we are told, on the ground, people who are venturing out for work and otherwise. Look at the situation that they have had to face. This is a busy street, a residential area, we are told. Specifically about the train services, Harbour Line has been suspended, we are told, due to the waterlogging in the Chunabhatti area. So different locations, because about 300 millimeter of rainfall. But is it simply about the rainfall, which is, of course, been high as well in its in the 300 millimeter according to the BMC, or is it also about the lack of proper development that should be done in and around Mumbai city? So these are the visuals coming in from the city of Mumbai, the financial capital, the film city hub, as I reiterate, that this has what it's become. You can look at people, especially students who are trying to venture out and are facing massive inconvenience. For work, and they are not able to constantly either use the train services or the vehicles. They have to walk through the knee-deep water to be able to reach locations. These are meanwhile the train services visuals that have taken a massive hit, and these are the services that connect Mumbai and keep it thriving. Vidya is getting us this ground report. Let's listen in.
लंबी लाइनें अभी हम आ रहे थे इस तरफ तो एयरपोर्ट से आप समझिए निकलने के लोगों को 1 घंटा लग रहा है सिर्फ हाईवे तक पहुंचने में। तो भारी समस्या इस वक्त सिर्फ यही है कि जबरदस्त ट्रैफिक जैम है जो कि आम दिनों से कहीं ज्यादा है।
All right, so that's what Vidya is telling us, that it's been, of course, the waterlogging also one of the reasons is because of the high rainfall. But what are the lessons learned from this? That there will, of course, be monsoon season and the high rainfall every year. But for the people of Mumbai, that they have to face this annually, is it a surprise for them? Not really, they would say. And they would also then reveal the kind of inconvenience that they have to face year on year. For now, the BMC has said that they have had to suspend a few services. They have given out an advisory to venture out only if necessary, but importantly, there will be some disruptions, and Met Department has also given an orange alert, which means it will be moderate to heavy rainfall for the next 3 days at least, till the 10th of July. You can expect, if you're a Mumbai resident, that there will be heavy rainfall. Joining me now is Dr. Swapnil Dinala. He's the Chief Public Relations Officer, Central Railway. Dr. Swapnil, I have a word because it's the train services that are massively affected in this case. What is the latest that you can tell us for a Mumbai resident listening to you right now? What kind of services have been affected?
Good morning, Pujaji. Previously, our services were suspended for a short duration of period between 5 to 6 hours. Both the services of main line were suspended, but after that, the services were restored and the normalcy was being achieved slowly. But after 9, the rains have started again in various areas, and also we have a warning of 14 hours of high tide of 4.48 meters, and backwaters of those high tides have already started rising. This may result into further disruption, and till 9:30 hours, our harbour section or harbour line between Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus and Panvel was functional, but after 9:30 hours at Chunabhatti station, the water levels are beyond 6 inches, 6 to 7 inches, which has resulted into suspension of harbour line local services between Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus and Panvel also. So we are requesting our commuters to be more careful and be selective about the requirement of travel.
When can we expect the services to resume? In the next few hours? Could it take over a day?
The services would resume with help of reduction of, now we need the reduction of rains, which is essential.
Yes.
And second thing is, at 14 hours, there is a high tide of 4.48 meters. Generally, any high tide beyond 3 meters is considered as severe, but it is 4.48 meters height. which will likely to further affect or further increase the duration for which we would have to suspend the services.
Sir, I have also received information that high-capacity water pumps are being utilized to drain the water. That is being done. How are you then managing the crowd that would clearly be coming for those who are missing their trains? That means there will be more people who would be either waiting at the stations. How is that being managed at this point till the water is drained out?
There has been additional deployment of RPF personnel as well as TC staff. But as for main line, our slow services were functional. As slow services were functional, people were at least able to move from places. Only the through services, fast local services were affected to a greater extent. And also till now, the harbour line services were functioning properly till 9:30. So that has also been taken care of, and we have received a very good response from Mumbaikars, and they have understood because the rains have been very heavy. Almost 200 mm rains have been accumulated in last 6-7 hours period.
My final question would be, yes. So what areas, if you can specifically tell us, in and around Mumbai that have taken the hit?
From point of railway operations, two areas which have become critical are Mulund and Nahur, area between Mulund and Nahur, which was in morning also around 5:15, which was drenched with rains and which resulted into waterlogging and ultimately the suspension of train services. And on harbour line, the Surpa has been affected to a greater extent.
All right. Appreciate you joining us. Dr. Swapnil telling us about precisely how the Central Railways or the railway services that have been affected, and possibly in the next few hours there will be hope for some relief. But at 2, as he said, there is likelihood of a high tide, and therefore people have been advised to take precaution as well. Listen into more reactions has come in, but first the visuals on your screen. On one side, waterlogged areas. It appears that one of the commuters driving through these lanes have decided to record to help us understand of what these are railway tracks. So remember that there are streets that are waterlogged, and then there are railway tracks that are waterlogged. And then you can see in different areas, apart from train services, that even to venture out are knee-deep waters.